guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Mail. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. That's from a guy, he's 26 years old, he's relatively new to the channel, and he shares his story how just less than a year ago, he got this close. I mean, this freaking close to getting engaged to clearly the wrong gal, after finding out that just days before she was up to no good. And where he finds this info out is from a very unlikely source. But anyhow, you're going to see he dodges a big one with her. And wait till you hear her reasoning and excuses for cheating on him. I mean, it's not going to surprise many of you, but to some people, if you're new, it may surprise you. Now, I'm very going to go over here, guys, as yet another example, a refresher, a reminder, why you don't rush into relationships with girls. You take your time dating them and all that before you get exclusive. You certainly don't rush in to move in with them, because when you do that, guys, when you demonstrate through your actions that clearly you're more into them than they are into you, that in the back of their mind leaves a little insurance policy that they screw up big time. And when I say screw up, that doesn't intentionally screw up, that they could probably get you back. With enough crying, begging, I'm sorries, and promising the world, you'll take them back. Meanwhile, it's always best that she, in her perspective, is more into the relationship than you are. She's always chasing you, chasing your validation, chasing your affection, all that. Because otherwise, you combine all these other things, this doesn't end very well for the guy. However, our guy here handles it well. So he says here, hello SSM. I ran across your channel while searching for relationship stories. I must admit, yours is really good. It feels genuine and you seem like a pretty chill guy. The reason being, earlier this year, I broke up with my girlfriend of 3 years. Therefore, I hope I share my story, others can relate. Brother, you're not alone. You got dudes all over the world that either been in your shoes or know someone that has, and they got your back. To begin with, my name is Alan, and I'm 26 years old. Not my real name, of course, but pretty close. I've known my ex, let's call her Lori, since high school before my parents moved us 2 hours away. My best friend and I, Dave, still lives in that town, so I sometimes visit him. One day in July 2021, Dave and I were hiking in a nearby park. The park has many trails, with the main attraction being a large tower. Devil's Tower? I don't know. In Wyoming? Overlooking the entire town. When we reached the tower, there were 3 girls there, and I recognized one of them as Lori. The last time I saw her, she was a skinny gal, but now has blossomed into a very attractive young gal. Hey, late bloomer. I couldn't keep my eyes off her. Dave and I spent the rest of the evening with them, and Lori and I exchanged numbers. You stud. Now that she got some booty, now that she got some boobs, now you're into her. Back then, back in high school, like, yeah, whatever. Not interested in the skinny chicks. After several dates, Lori and I quickly fell for each other. Oh, Lord. We couldn't get enough of each other, so in less than 3 months, we got a place together in my town. Smack! Are you nuts? You barely been seeing this woman for 3 months. Yeah, I know you were acquainted back in high school and all, friends. You know, everybody's friends with each other in high school, but you didn't know her that well. In 3 months of following for each other, and blah, 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 and then you're moving in together, that's nuts. Right here. That communicates to her, this dude is so into me that he's got to move in with me in 3 months. Already, it's storing in the back of her memory bank here. Well, if I screw up, he rushed into a relationship with me. He must love me so much. He must love my now fuller body here. Loves that booty. If I fuck up, I can get him back. You barely know her, dude. I know you know this now, but I gotta say this shit for newcomers. We were both 24 years old at the time, starting our respective careers, and things couldn't have been better. Famous last words. In 2023, things were still great, so I secretly planned to propose. Smack! After 2 years, 2 years knowing this broad, but I can't say I'm surprised. He moved in with her after 3 months. But I wanted to do a Christmas dinner with my family. Oh, there's right out of the fucking movies. Unfortunately, we got some bad news. Lori's mom was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. Lori was understandably upset, so she made the decision to spend the holidays with her family while I remained with mine. It ruined my plans, but what could I do? Well, of course she's going to go be with her mom. That's pretty tough fucking news, you know? And notice this shit always happens around the holidays when you want to be happy. I kid you not. But anyhow, of course she goes off with her family. But fate intervened, if you will. They didn't propose to her, you know, before what happens happens. After Christmas, Lori came home, but she seemed different. She wanted SCX all the time. Oh, poor you. And I thought maybe she had done some soul searching and realized that I was the one. This made me pretty happy, and I decided to propose on New Year's Eve. For that day, we planned a small gathering in our apartment. Lori had also invited her younger sister, Gwen, who just turned 21. Gwen and I had a great relationship, and I often told her that I loved her like a little sister, since I don't have any siblings. Our little gathering was going great, but I noticed that Gwen was out by herself a lot. She looked pretty upset, so I thought to cheer her up by revealing my secret to her. I told her I was going to propose to Lori at the stroke of midnight. I thought this would make Gwen happy, but she began to cry and hug me. Then she said, "Alan, she doesn't deserve you. I saw her with Tim." Who the fuck is Tim? Little sister, revealing the truth. I was pretty confused. Tim? Who the hell is Tim? I thought. I never heard Lori mention anyone by that name. So Gwen explained that Tim was Lori's ex-boyfriend. Well, clearly there's a reason your girl of 3 years never mentioned Tim. Clearly Tim obviously was fairly important to her. Now we gotta say, was she in secret contact with Tim all along? Was Tim the one that got away? The one she really wanted? I felt a sinking feeling in my gut, but pretended everything was alright. I told Gwen not to worry too much. The rest of the night, I put on the happy face, but inside I was miserable. Every once in a while, I would catch Gwen staring at me, as if to say, "I hope you're alright." And when Lori would come near me, I would instinctively move away. Needless to say, I did not propose. Man, you dodged a big one there. A lot of people are going to speculate, "Oh, little sister has a crush on him," something like that. You never know, but I don't think that's the reason, she told him. Next morning, I woke up very early and began clearing the apartment. I was so confused, yet I didn't know what to do, except keep busy. My relationship felt like a lie now. The more I thought about it, the more depressed I became. I understand, man. I'm sorry that happened to you. But you know what? She cheated. Yeah, understandably, her mom's got stage 1 breast cancer. Very upsetting, very scary. She's young. You know, as you get older, guys, like you're my age, in your 40s, it is a regular part of life that loved ones, parents, aunts and uncles get cancer in different degrees and all that. But when you're young, in your 20s, you see it in a whole different way. It becomes much more terrifying, you know? I mean, it really is. As you get older, you're sympathetic, and you get kind of numb to these things because you expect that. It's just the process, you know? But anyhow, that was an excuse what she did. She's sad and crying and carrying on, so, you know, she's going to go seek refuge with Tim. In the back of her mind, my boyfriend here, Alan, well, you know, moved in together so quick, he's so in love with me, he'll forgive me. You really want someone like that can't control their emotions or have no loyalty? When things get tough, they got to go off to Tim. You think she would want to spend that time with you? Nope, Tim's going to make her feel better. In a moment of weakness, I admit, I was willing to forget what Gwen told me. I just wanted to pretend everything was still going great. Smack! Don't you think about it. I get this girl you're in love with and want to marry her, and you had your plans. And you want to try to convince yourself, oh, she messed up. It's the scare, the breast cancer and everything from her mom. No, that's no excuse. Okay, she should have sought refuge in you and your arms, not Tim's. So I went for a walk. It was hours before I returned, and when I did, both Lori and Gwen were seated on the sofa. When she saw me, Lori immediately apologized. "I'm so sorry," she sobbed. That's when I knew the cat was out of the bag. Gwen had told Lori she knew about that I knew about Tim, and also that I planned to propose. Oh boy. I did my best to hide my emotions, but the tears were welling up my eyes. "What happened?" I asked. "Why did you do it?" Lori cried even harder. Shocker. Until I shouted, "Just stop it already." Amazing. The waterworks come out. "It was a mistake. I'm so sorry." Finally, when she composed herself, Lori said that during Christmas, some friends asked her to hang out and unwind. Since she was so stressed about her mom, she agreed to go. They went to another friend's home, and they all watched a Hallmark movie about a woman who reconnects with her high school sweetheart. They were drinking wine as they watched. Oh, for God's sakes. The fucking Hallmark Channel at Christmas time, and her emotions in the wine. Or this is total bullshit, and she just wanted to hook up with Tim. And by the way, the ex from high school, this dude telling the story here said he went to high school with her. I don't know if he went fully to high school, like the whole time, but you'd think he would know who the fuck Tim was. Maybe Tim was at another school district when she was dating him in high school. That happened. I dated some girls in different school districts in high school. But anyhow. Then some guys arrived, including Tim. Oh yeah, they wanted to come watch the fucking Hallmark Channel too? Yeah, sure. Lori avoided him at first, but eventually he came over and talked to her. When it got late, Tim offered to take her home. Of course, Tim. The Tims of the world always want to take the sad, crying, depressed girls home with absolute, genuine, kind intentions. Bullshit. She admits that she should have said no, but the movie and the wine made her confused. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. She knows exactly what she confused my ass. Also, she was feeling depressed about her mom and just needed a friend to talk to. Yeah, I'm sure that's really why Tim wanted to take her home, because he just wanted to talk to her. He wanted to do something else to her. So she left with Tim and they ended up sleeping together. Oh, who could have saw that coming? The next morning, Tim dropped her off at her mom's house, and that's when Gwen spotted them together. Dropped her off, more like kick the door open. Get out. I'm done with you. So I just listened to her story without saying a word. I didn't do it intentionally because I really had no words. But by not saying anything, it seemed to make Lori more frantic. You mean when silence drives them crazy? Yes. She begged and she pleaded, "Please, Ellen, I love you. We can get through this. I know you want to propose, and I want to be your wife. I'll do anything." Okay, I want a threesome with Gwen. Then I'll take you back. Obviously, he didn't say that. The irony is, I thought when this moment came, I too would fold. I would take her back and live with shame, but I didn't. Well, hallelujah, man. Welcome to the channel. I remember feeling nothing. I was numb. Here was this woman crying her eyes out, and for what? Because of a stupid movie? This was my life she was messing with, and you don't sleep with someone else and just come back like it was nothing? That's not normal behavior. I agree, it's not normal behavior, but it's common behavior. That happens all the freaking time. You're new to the channel, watch more videos. You're going to hear this all the fucking time. And why? Because in the back of their minds, they think, again, this guy rushed into a relationship with me, moved in with me, all this type of thing, was going to propose to me after knowing like 3 years. If I cry hard enough, if I promise enough, if I make enough bullshit up, eventually he'll cave. So she was wrong about you, thank God. I went to the bedroom, locked the door, and packed a few things. Then I came out, and when Lori came in for a hug, I sternly warned, "Don't touch me, we're done. Get your shit and get out by the time I get back. Otherwise, I can move out, you decide." Good for you, man. I'm sure that was hard to do. I went to my parents' house and told them everything. They couldn't believe it, as Lori was like family to them. But I told them it was over and for them not to let her near me ever again. The next several days were terrible. Lori wouldn't leave our apartment as I expected. Of course she didn't leave. She knows you're going to come back at some point to get some more stuff, and, you know, Waterworks Central, she'll wear you down. She stuck around, waiting for me to return. I went back to find her car was still there, so I immediately left. That's when the texts and calls came. Of course. Probably from her friends as well. "Take her back, she's sorry." She kept asking me to meet, although I never answered or picked up the phone. Meanwhile, Gwen had gone home and told her parents. I started getting calls from mutual friends, but ignored them all. Very good idea, because I'm sure they're probably all telling you the same thing. Then Lori showed up at my parents' house. Bitch, I don't want to talk to you. I'm ignoring your calls, your texts. I'm not going back to the apartment. What makes you think you can show up at my parents' house? I stayed hidden, and while my parents went out to meet her, from behind the curtains, I saw my mom and Lori hugging. They spoke for a very long time, and then Lori left. "Hey, Mom, I'm your boy here. Why are you fucking hugging her? If you're going to talk to her and send her on her way, fine, but no fucking hugging her. She was cheating on me. The following day, she showed up at my workplace while I was in a meeting. Oh, hell no. Bad enough she goes to your parents' house, now your place of business? The receptionist, who knew her, informed me Lori was in the lounge. So I texted her and lied that I was off-site. I'm surprised, but she fell for it, since my car was in plain view. Okay, so Lori's a dumbass. After that, I called her dad. I explained to him that we were never getting back together and they needed to take her home. He agreed, and before long, Lori was gone from the apartment. I haven't seen or heard from her since. I still get a pain in my chest from time to time, but it is nearly gone. So here I am, months later, getting past this. And there you go. It's an abrupt ending, but there you go. So, guys, what do we learn from this story? Aside from we have another brother here in the community who's gone through some shit. But you know what? The silver lining is he's 26, and he's all the wiser. And I'm sorry this happened to you, man. I really am. But you're not alone. This happens to guys every fucking day. The lesson of the story is, aside from don't get fucking married, is you don't rush into relationships. You don't give them that certainty. I'm sure it was probably you that asked to be exclusive. Let's be honest here. I'm sure it was you who brought the idea of moving in together. If we're honest here, it is far better that the girl is chasing after the guy pursuing him, trying to lock him down to a relationship. She has to work to get him. And when people work harder for things, they appreciate them more. But when a guy rushes into relationships, in the back of their mind, oh, he's so into me, he's so in love with me, if I screw up, I could probably cry my way out of it. She obviously didn't, her perception of you was wrong. Thank God. But for the future, because you're obviously a relationship guy, take your time. At least 6 months to be exclusive. Have her bring it up and badger you about it. Not ultimatums, but just the one bringing it up. And moving in together, there's no reason to move in with your girl unless you plan on marrying her. Like the final test. And I'm not saying that test is a guarantee, but it's a final test. And you do that years later. 3 years is way too soon to propose to a girl because you know what? You need to have a lot of real life things happen to see who she is. For example, a tragic event like her mom getting breast cancer and all that uncertainty and see how she handles it. Does she come to your arms and seek you as her rock in life? Or does she go after fucking Tim, the guy from her past, the guy that got away, who she can just hook up with on the side, who I question if she's been talking to the whole time. Interesting, you never heard about Tim. Every girl has their fucking Tim, or Jeff, or Chad, or Tyrone, that they keep in the back just in case when things get tough. That is a real life situation. That's something tough happening because guess what? In life, loved ones, parents, grandparents, people you care about, tragedies happen, they get cancer, and see how they handle it. So right then and there, that's why you spend years with your girl for the real life shit to happen to see how she handles it. And this girl failed miserably. But anyhow, thank God for her little sister. That her little sister had some goddamn integrity and told you. Guys can speculate, oh, maybe the little sister has a crush on him. Who knows? But her sister has some fucking integrity, so that's very nice of her. So, bro, all I'm going to suggest is it's been obviously since Christmas that happened, New Year's, and I'm sure you're a lot better. But 3 years with somebody and you're in love with them, think you're going to marry them, you're not going to get it from overnight. I know you were numb during that event, but I'm sure you had roller coaster of emotions. And the best way to get over a broken heart in a woman is there's time. There's spending time with doing things you enjoy, hang out with your bros, your friends, your loved ones, and of course getting another chick under you. But you want to heal first and hopefully learn from it. So that's what I think about that. So a lot of lessons in this story, but thank God our guy handled this right. Because a lot of guys, my friend, as you're probably aware at this point, would fall for the waterworks, take the girl back, and then that girl will be like, oh, look how I screwed up, but he still took me back. And next thing you know, she's fucking Tim the next time something bad happens. I kid you not. So good luck to you, bro. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the community. A lot of great guys all over the world. They got your back. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a great story to share or a fucking tragedy to share that you want to help guys out with, email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just be sure to give me some time to get to it, see if it works for the channel. I got tons of emails in the backlog that I go through. Sometimes ones pop up and I see something in the title that's so attractive I got to grab it. But generally speaking, there's a backlog, so just bear with me. And of course, this also goes for news articles, questions you may have for the Ask SSM thing. Those are usually quicker videos, you know. I like that variety here on this channel. Send it my way. And the more you do it, the more I can crank out and get good info out there. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.